Okay, let's get into it. So let's have a Monday. Let's have a great week. So as we can see here, a lot of the names gapped up. And something that I've learned in my journey is the safest thing to always do when we get these crazy gap ups is to let the market fill this gap. Sitting on your hands is a position. Always remember that. So, I remember I wasn't really educated on gaps and how to play gap fills. And when we got big gap ups during the pre-market, that would uh that would really confuse me. So all we're gonna do is really just let the market fill its gaps. When it comes to names that have made all-time highs, there's no other key levels. So I'm definitely not taking a trade, you know, way at the top of these all-time highs. We're just gonna be patient and wait for price to pull back. And you gotta understand when it comes to pullbacks, it may be today, it may be tomorrow. It may be Wednesday, right? So just being patient, and still taking trades off our key levels. So you can see here, this gapped up tremendously. This is the SPY. This is the Qs, AMD, even though it gapped up, still pulled back. But for me, there's no key level up here. So like I said, I got to let this develop for the next couple of days just to let price develop. We may get this pullback down here. There's a lot of thin volume in here, so we'll see. For those who scalp and play on the intraday, by all means, take your setups. For me, I'm just gonna wait for key levels to get hit and take trades. AMD is gonna be on my close watch list. Even though we gapped up, I mean, this is beautiful. You can see how well respected our daily 191.05 is. So coming into today, uh, we're really just looking for pullback longs. It's either going to be a pullback long off this 188.15. It's either going to be a pullback long off this 184.50 if we fall under this, or a break and retest over this. I love the confluence here. It's also the pre-market high, and it's a daily resistance level, and we can clearly see this is being respected on the dot. So this will be on my close watch list for today's session. Um, Tesla, crazy, uh, crazy. You got all these gap ups around the overall market, and Tesla's still doing nothing. So crazy. And then we have Apple. So I'm pretty much hands off on this name. Let me see. Yeah, I'm pretty much hands off on this name. You can see the IV because we have earnings this week pretty higher. As you know, IV for Apple is typically low 30s, 20s. Like this is normal. And I did say if we made new all-time highs during the pre-market or during the after hours, coming into today's session, I'm pretty much just hands off. I'm pretty much just hands off. The reason for that being is we're already at the top of the range. Like I've always said, playing this is the late entry. This is the better RR entry. That's the better, really the A plus setup. So I'm pretty much just hands off on Apple anyway. We have earnings this week, Thursday after market close. So I'm okay with that. Look at this crazy, crazy. Gapped up. We finally got above this. So Palantir will also be on my close watch list. If we can get this pullback, I mean, if we open up and we go straight up, I won't be surprised. Like I've been saying, the break and retest occurs in pre-market, and you can see we've already got that break. We retested this level, we defended this, moving a little bit higher. So, but I've been breaking this down, right? I've been saying we're gonna stay away from this consolidation and wait for our next leg higher. So we finally got this gap up, and if we can pull back, and turn this 188 into support, I like this going long. So that's gonna be on my close watch as well. Google, it's kind of far out, kind of no lands man, as you can see, just gapped up. If you're a trader who take trades off of previous day highs and previous day lows, you can definitely look for that. This name has earnings as well. You can see down here has earnings. So I'm pretty much hands off on this name unless it pulls back to this 256.70 and then hood. And put this on my close watch list, but this looks like a really good setup as well, to be honest. Figured I'd start doing my little pre-market sessions a little bit earlier instead of just um, rolling as soon as market opens, just so you can see what I'm looking at and what I'm thinking prior to going into the session. So if you remember during the pre-market video, I said that this is a key level. This is a breaker structure. Let's go here on the daily. You can see we were making lower lows. Getting back over this is not breaker structure. So hood is definitely something that I'm looking for. If we can get a pullback long off this 140.15, that is very solid, or break and retest. That is solid. Like I said, we are bullish bias now that we are above 140.15. But yeah, really, coming into today's session, just really gonna be patient, sit on our hands. The only things that I have on my close watch list is really NVIDIA. This one may be the only setup, to be completely honest, based on the names that I trade. So NVIDIA looks super solid. This is something that I will be looking at. Palantir looks solid. You can clearly see if we can get this pullback long. I like this too. So we shall see. Main list wise, really nothing going on. If Tesla wants to open up and rip above 450, I'll take that. Nothing on AMD, nothing on Qs, and then nothing on SPY. So I want to make it clear the main reason that I am looking at these two is because these are just the only two tickers that are near key levels that I can take a trade off of. Apple pretty much has already hit its all-time high. This wasn't a key level for me to take a trade off of. This was just showing that it was the all-time high. So kind of already sweat that, but you can see kind of get that break, pullback, retest. So we can see, what Apple would do, but Apple's a slow mover on the underline anyway, and this is not really a name that I want to trade during earnings week. We already saw the IV near the mid 50s. It's actually pretty high for Apple. So, but the idea here is the top of this range, this channel, to now turn into support. That's the idea there. So if that happens today, really good setup, just clean market structure. You can see on Friday acting as resistance, we break, and now acting as support. That's beautiful. That's textbook. But I'm pretty much hands off this name until earnings pass. So we'll see when the video sets up. We'll see what Palantir sets up. And then Hood looks solid, but just sitting in the middle right now. Hood looks solid. It's just sitting in the middle. But hopefully it can come back and do something like this. Just sweep this previous day's high liquidity, get above this 246, and then do something like that. Or all the way down here, 140.15. I'm comfortable taking a trade off any level here because this still has all-time highs to gravitate towards. So I'm comfortable going long off of any one of these levels. And then I do want to hit on, if today is, quote unquote, a bearish day, that's 100% normal. It's 100% normal. This market is moving higher. We got our next leg higher. But now we're pretty much going to have two gaps. We gapped up on Friday. Don't forget that. We gapped up on Friday. And then you can clearly see we gapped up tremendously during the after hours pre-market. So we're going to have two big gaps here in the pre-market. Two big gaps. So, within the next couple of days, if we're just seeing pullbacks, that's 100% normal. Or this market can just stay really strong and continue to the upside. But hope this makes sense. Like, if you're a trader, like I said, who trades off these previous day highs and lows, you can see, this is getting respect, right? You can definitely look for a pullback long off of these previous day highs. Like I said, to me, this is like, I just got to the party late. I want down here. This is the better RR trade. I'm gonna always break that down for you. So these are the better RR trades. Patience pays. I was looking at Tesla, but there's just nothing here. This is dead smack in between the previous day high, the previous day low. So I'm not gonna include this on my close watch. For me, at least, it's really just Palantir and NVIDIA. Now, what I want to say about Palantir is, right, you see we kind of already got that break and retest. If we take out this all-time high and then just get a quick reverse, I might be hands off. I would prefer this before it makes a new all-time high. I would really prefer that. That seems like the better RR trade and the better trade, because I'm taking this long before it even completes its objective, which is, taking out this all-time high, gravitating towards the top of this range and top liquidity. So, and then this is the better RR trade. I don't want to break a retest over 190. So if we just rip through 190 without getting a pullback, it's just really going to be a NVIDIA for me. If you're looking at Apple today, I know you'll be watching this video after it's already done, but this is what you want to see. This is really like pretty much our next leg higher. You can see we went through our consolidation. We want to turn the top of this channel into support and then get that continuation. Going to be hard to do that with high IV and earnings at the end of this week, but this is what you would want to see. I pull back long off this 264. Really nothing on Google. Hood looks solid. It's just sitting dead smack in the middle of the range. I'm actually very open to trading Hood. This looks very solid. If we can get a break over 146, I would prefer that. Let's see. Yeah, Hood looks solid. Spreads aren't that bad. Around 3 minutes until market opens here. All right, we got about 1 minute now, or really 40 seconds. So I'm looking at everything as well on the 15-minute time frame. So for NVIDIA, I'm really just looking for either a pullback long to this 188.15 or break and retest over this 190.105. Keep in mind, we can see some pullbacks this morning. This entire market really has. Even these individual tech names have some gaps to fill. So 10 seconds here. And we won't have any red folder news today. It's Palantir, so we'll be patient. We'll wait. We'll see. That's what happens when we just, I'm happy we're able to see this. Palantir's back in play, right? It may not be today, but it's back in play. We finally got out of that consolidation. This is our next leg higher. This big blow off top, that's not a surprise when price is just so compressed. Like I said, if we make a new all-time high, we reject, I'm hands off this name because it already completed this objective. So I'm happy we were able to see this in real time. AMD is really like the best looking one. On the 15 minute, this Palantir one's holding up, but really just got to be patient here. It's really just patience. You can really see all across the board, this is a very volatile open. Seems like a gap and go type of morning for the SPY and the Qs. I'm looking at this on the 15 minute for both of these names. From 187 up to 190, 96, I'll round that to 191. A lot going on here on Palantir. This isn't a key level for me to take a trade off of. This is just us to see the all-time high. You can see we ended up getting that dip and rip off this weekly. This is a weekly level. This is very important. So over time, whether it's tomorrow or Wednesday, I will be looking for a pullback long off this 188 here on Palantir. I'm looking at Tesla too on the 15 minute. Really nothing here for me until we break over 450. Only reason I put it on my close watch list because I know Tesla can move a pretty big amount in the dollar amount size. So my Palantir is no shocker to us. Many all-time highs, had a blow off top. Really watching NVIDIA and Tesla here. Ideally, I would really like Tesla, if I'm being honest. So we shall see. Little divergence here on the SPY and the Qs, especially on the 15 minute. Like I said, the SPY and the Qs gapped up pretty big during the pre-market, so there's no key levels for me to take anything off of, at least on these two names. So I'm just looking at them on the 15 minute. So Qs is definitely a little bit stronger right now compared to the SPY. Palantir looks cool. If we I just gotta wait for these candles to normalize, I should say. These are big wicks and big candles. Very volatile open. So in order for me to take something here, I need to see these candles, relax a little bit. Okay, so big rejection here on the SPY and the Q. So these 15 minute candles are pretty much, yeah, these are big bearish candles on the 15. Honestly, that's what I want to see on the market today, though. To each, like for me personally, I want to see the entire market pull back today. I do not care if today's like a red bearish day, but two gaps in a row is kind of crazy. So me, preferably, I would really want the market to fill this gap today. I don't even care if it takes all day, but so you can see, right? You got your break, you got your retest. Buyer stepped up here, off our 188, but I'm not touching these candles. There's no way. But I'm happy we were able to like really break down Palantir and just stay away from this name. So I'll break this down later on, just on the daily. Like this pretty much is our next leg higher. Consolidation, next leg higher, I've been saying on this name. Right? It's no surprise that we got sellers stepping up in here on Tesla. It's no surprise. It's right there though. It's right there. I will say that much. You can see Palantir respecting these key levels, right? We had a pullback long off 188, breaking retest off of 190. Like I've been saying, this is like being late to the party. This is our next leg higher on Palantir. Looks super solid. See what Hood ends up doing. Let's see. Beautiful on Palantir. Tesla, right? Top of this range, seeing this rejection, no surprise. I'm gonna be patient here in the video. It does look good, so we'll see. Oh, I have to play out the money. Like 10, actually 15-cent spread isn't that bad either, but we'll see. You can see the spreads are moving. I don't like this volume only being at 1600, but the delta's good too, so I might pass on. I gotta read this. I gotta see. Because if Tesla sets up today, you guys know me, I'm very big on being one and done. Win or lose, one trade a day. Yeah, I might have to pass on Hood. I'd rather take my shot on Nvidia or Tesla. Market is having a low day bounce recovery. So we'll see. We're starting to see some resistance at 146.70 anyway. I love to see that prior to a breakout shows my kilos being respected. But Tesla looks solid. It does look solid. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna see. This is the part for me. Like now I'm thinking, what do I want to do? Because if I get this breakout first on Nvidia, momentum looks good. Like I don't want to. Oof. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna make life a little easier for me. This move already happened. I'm done here. We know what I'm looking for. Clean displacement. You see sellers are stepping in here. I'm not gonna force this on Tesla as much as I want it. I really want this, but that's our Hood breakout. If I have to choose between Nvidia and Hood, I'm going with Nvidia. And the reactions that you're seeing up here on Tesla is exactly why I have that whole thing marked out as a zone. That's exactly why. We see our key levels being respected here well on Nvidia, right? We see sellers stepping in here at this 189.05. It's perfect. It looks solid. Hood looks solid. Yeah, I just don't like the volume right here. Oh, that's terrible. No surprise here on Tesla. You zoom out on the 15-minute. We're pretty much just sitting sideways. I'm just finding the keys. Nvidia is really the main watch here. It really is. Beautiful displacement over this 146.70. You can see this is really a strong level here on the video. This 190.105 clearly being respected. Hood definitely has a relative strength. Like, look at the volume here. It's not even, and this is at the money. I don't like that. 20-cent spread is a little bit too, the max out go is like 15 on a spread. Because you got to keep in mind if the trade doesn't work out. Out of the money seems cool. It's not too bad. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I think just due to spreads, if I get this pullback, I might pass to that. I like that NVIDIA's flirting with this 191. This is solid. This is really, really, really solid. Nothing going on all around as of yet. Out of curiosity, I want to see what Apple. Okay, not surprised. Like I said, we already got that break and retest pre-market. So this is what you wanted to see. Okay, this I love. Please pull back. Even if we don't get this today, I don't care. You can kind of see buyers stepping in there a little bit, but the A plus is down here. So I'm very happy. We pretty much just filled the gap on AMD. So this is a name where we got to let price develop over the next couple of days if we don't pull back down here, just for some new key levels to form. So I do like that. The video looks solid. The video looks really, really solid. This really is the main watch here. I want to see this resistance get a break and then turn into support. Looks really solid. Like I said, this gives me confidence seeing my key level get this type of response on the dot. Just shows me I did my job. I found the proper key level here in the market. It's getting reactions here. That's exactly what you want to see at a key level. That's exactly what you want to see. No shocker here. This is why I have this marked out as a zone on Tesla. So on the dot here, you can see this 445. Remember, we are bullish buys here on the video. And this thing is holding up. You can clearly see this thing is holding up. Hood is gone. It's a lot of divergence on Hood. We're bullish buys on that name now. Okay, Hood, crazy. Just 12 minutes of straight upside. This 191 is a strong level here on the video. This is a very strong level. Like I said, spine and keys are just sitting sideways. You can even see here on the 15-minute, they're just sitting sideways. Nothing there. Nothing there. Just sideways action. Hmm. Yeah, so patience really is the name of the game here. Uh, remember, less is more. You really only need, God honest truth, you really only need one solid trade to set up your week. You only need one trade to have a really good week. You got to define for you, what's a good week. One trade can make 5,000, 6,000. You can just be done for the week. So it's really just being patient and letting these trades come to us and not freaking out when we get these big gaps. I remember, yeah, when I first started trading, we would get these big gap ups during the pre-market or these news catalysts like gap ups, and I had no idea how to play them. They would just freak me out. And I would always like try and play the gap fill. And you lose more than you win. Sometimes it's best to just do nothing, let the gap fill, let the market balance out, fill its objective, right? Fill those orders, fill that thin volume, and then take trades off your key levels. So it's kind of what we're seeing all over. I just really want to hit on that because I remember my heart rate would go through the roof when I opened the charts and we gapped up and we're kind of in no man's land and you feel like you got to take a trade. No, we're not around a key level. Just let it be. Right? Cash is still a position. Cash is still trading. So really, due to these spreads here on Hood, I'm kind of hands off to this name. I don't like. It's not a name that I trade often. I know some people do. I've taken some here and there, but yeah, like 410 to 445. Like I'm not touching that. The volumes went up a little bit. Strike price out of the money and at the money. But look at these spreads. Like I'm good on that. It's not really a big deal when you're winning a trade, but trust me, you feel that spread difference when that trade goes against you. So to each their own. I mean, I know you could do limit orders and whatnot. I mainly always do a market order, but the max I'll go on a spread is 15 cents. Anything wider than that, I'm kind of hands off. So Tesla's still very bullish. This is still a bullish name on the higher time frame. Let me go here actually, which is pretty crazy to see. Give me a sec. Give me one sec. Let's look at this on the 15. Damn near every day we market open. Every day we have been flirting in between this 450 and 445. We have just been waiting. 6 days in a row, we have come way up here, which is wild. Even when we sold off, we at least touched this key level. So every single day we have been flirting with this. This is very important to know. Like, we marked out our good key level, our zone, and we're just waiting for the break above. You can see we're very bullish on this name. We're still sitting high in the higher time frame. But each day I'm noticing we are just stepping in between 450 and 445. There's just a lot of sellers sitting up here. Heavy sellers just pushing this thing down every time we get up here. You can see we got up here, and as soon as we got up to 450, that caused that crazy. We bounced, recovered, and it came right back down. And then today we're flirting with this again. So that's something to observe. Like I said, this is a valid shot if you wanted to take that. A pullback long of the previous day high. I don't trust these previous day highs and lows. It's like track your own data. For me, my win percentage, taking trades off of previous day highs and previous day lows, is not that high. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. So I did my homework. I'm like, why do I keep losing on these previous day highs and previous day lows? I'm going with the overall time frame. I'm going with context. I'm going with the trend. And it's because these levels don't hold as much weight as higher time frame key levels. So for me, it was like more so really due to my data. It wasn't even a coin toss. So, but I noticed my win rate is around 65, 70% taking trades off of higher time frame key levels. So now I just use these as context references. They're still important levels. They're still key levels. But for me to take trades off of them, I just don't have as much confidence and conviction behind them compared to a weekly level, a daily level. So to each your own. I've been getting asked, why don't I take trades off these levels? That's mainly why. I use them as reference points. So, this can do this, right? We're seeing that right now. Swept that liquidity, pull back long, that's beautiful. But if you've been watching how I trade, you always see the better RR off the higher time frame key levels, the cleaner price action, the better trades. It's very valid. I'm just not comfortable with this level holding compared to this level holding. This is a market structure level on the daily that's been respected over a period of time. This hasn't been tested too much, this previous day high. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of the better way to put it. Because if we zoom out on the daily and we find a key level, that thing has been tested over and over again. We can clearly see this. I don't have that much history, that much data, that much background behind this previous day high. I just have to trust that on the intraday. I don't really like that. So it's nice to see that, we caught this out in real time prior to market opens, and you can look for this. And even then, I'm passing on this. I don't care to take a trade off a previous day high or low. They work. Don't get me wrong. They work. They just don't hold as much strength and conviction. I see this being respected. I love that. Just gotta be patient here in the video. Beautiful day on Hood, to be honest. Super cool for us to add that to the close watch list, and break this down on the analysis on the higher time frame. Right? I said, a break down here, that's a break of structure. We ended up gapping above this, and look how clean the price action is now. We were bullish bias on this name, trending back towards all-time highs. So really good analysis here. Never really got that pullback. Honestly, really wasn't a fan of the spreads, but good analysis here on this name. Oh, let's see what Palantir is doing. Beautiful. Well, I'm excited to break this down. I'm definitely gonna break this down. If you've been with me, you know we have been avoiding this name forever, forever. So beautiful break, retest over all-time high. Like I said, this is late to the party. So at least for me now, coming into this week, this 188, it still needs a retest. Still needs a retest. So this is the pullback long, the A+ long I will be looking for. So for me personally, I actually hope that this thing just trends higher to give us a higher time frame swing high target, get that pullback long and gravitate towards that. That's beautiful. That's exactly what I want to see on Palantir. Very excited for this though. Like I love when we just break down a clean analysis. We stay away from a name, and as soon as it breaks out of the channel, it gives us that clean price action, exactly what we were looking for. Like I said, breaking retest over all-time high, that's a valid shot for me, late to the party, but break, retest, buyer step in, this thing's pushing higher. Market is 658, pretty much 659, so we're about to be 30 minutes on the dot here for market open. Really just trying to be patient. SPY and the Qs are starting to gravitate above its high of day. SPY's rejecting high of day right now. So let's see. All this, that intrigues me. This I love seeing this before the break and retest, to be honest. Like if we break out a key level and I get an instant break and retest, I'm gonna take that. But I love seeing reactions at these key levels first. That's a valid shot you took out. Valid shot. It's gonna be a misprint. And even if Tesla does break out of this 450, I'm gonna be very, very patient here because we've been in this range, right? Getting to the top of this range it's really nothing to wag our tail about. It's really holding above it. Friday we had a big peak and fell. We pushed up to 451.68 and rejected that instantly. So Like all this is noise. You know I'm going to be looking for a very strong displacement candle above this 450 prior to that retest. Maybe we can see that if the SPY and the Qs can turn the high of day into support and get that push higher. But we'll see. But as of now, each 15-minute candle on the Qs is bullish and green. So I'm sorry, on Tesla, it's bullish and green. See, some traders, reversal traders, try and take the break and retest off this 445 to the downside. And the reason these plays are hard to do and have a pretty low win percentage is because you're doing a counter trend trade in scalp. The trend is your friend is a very real thing. The probabilities go in your favor a little bit more, actually a lot more, when you are trading with the higher time frame context and a higher time frame trend. A lot more. Like technically, even if you wanted to, I'm just being very conservative and waiting for the highest probability setup. Break and retest off of 445. If you want to look for a quick scalp targeting, just 450 is even a valid shot. You can even do that. Just break, retest 445 off this key level targeting here. It's very valid. Okay, so SPY and the Qs are getting above high day. Let me see. Yeah, Qs is above high day. High day is 625.53. As of right now, it's sitting at 625.60s. So a lot of resistance here on the video. I'm actually way more intrigued by this than this. Like this, I love to see on the video. But this is why we wait for clean displacement candles prior to even looking for a retest. When a key level breaks out, traders are always looking for the retest as soon as it breaks out. No, right? Like I've said before, the first thing you should be looking for on a breakout is displacement. That's one thing that I really emphasize on. You can go watch every live session. There are some trades I pass on because not enough displacement. That's the most important entry criteria. Buyers have to show us that they have taken over a key level. So 191.05, I need buyers to show me like, hey, Kel, I'm here now. Like this is now my level. That's what I need to see. Like see this on hood? That is clean displacement. And you just got to trust that you get the pullback as well. Sometimes you don't, but you got to trust it. Wow, SPY, new all-time highs. This thing's pushing. It's at 683.45. That is unreal. And there's no red photo news at all. There's no red photo news. So crazy on the SPY. Look at that. That's crazy. Qs, this thing pushed up very big to 628. So you can clearly see this has some way to go. You can see both SPY and the Qs over the high day. So I'd love to see that. Me personally, I know some people right now are probably looking for the opening candle, break and retest it. Like to me, this is just like I'm late to the party. We're sitting way up here. There's no more key levels. You're playing at all-time highs. You got to expect, some pretty aggressive pullbacks down here. You're no longer playing the dip when you play this high up. You're playing literally just a break and retest, hoping that you'll get continuation. It's a big difference there. So see, reasons like this is why I don't really trust pre-market highs and lows. Because if I take this is definitely a misprint candle. Don't be fooled. If I'm taking a long off this, dude, I'm looking for the high of day here. I feel more comfortable like down here, targeting up here, knowing that the way market structure works, this thing's gonna gravitate higher. Look at this 191.05. It's beautiful. Seeing this reaction off this level, that means we did our job this weekend. That's an A+ level. We did our job. Now we just wait to get paid. That's literally all that is. Tesla looks good though. Tesla looks solid. See that? That fell? You can stop out right now. That's why I don't take trades off that. I just use it for context reference. Or maybe even a scalp. Yeah, Tesla looks solid. It's a Monday where Tesla bless us. We'll see. Yeah, see? That's sickening. I don't like that. Like, let's look at Tesla here on the 15. It looks solid. It looks very solid. Look at these 15-minute candles. But I just said, saw this on Friday. Now the thing with Tesla is it's not necessarily us being up here. Like I don't really care about that. We've seen the last 6 days. Right? I've already shown us. We've seen the last 6 days. Price is pushing up here. It's a matter of holding. That's the thing. It's a matter of holding. So really just gotta trust this 450 level if we get a proper displacement. But if we break this and just get like a break in pace, I'm gonna have to pass on that. I just have to. You can see we're moving higher, we're trending higher. NVIDIA dead smack in the middle of the range, but not surprised here because we gapped up on the video. So what I mean, let your trades come to you. Beautiful, beautiful key level here. That makes me happy. You can see just resistance on the dot. So just waiting for that break and retest above that. Technically 1 a.m. starts as the pre-market, so we did get this retest here on this 188.15, technically. That's a big gap. Yeah. I really want this. 188.15 is the A plus, to be honest. This is very valid. Breaking retest with this 191.05, that's very valid. That's a good trade. It's a good RR trade. But look at the trend. Thursday, Friday, today. Even, I mean, even Wednesday. This is beautiful. That's why I say, just zoom out on the daily, understand what the market's doing, what we're doing. We are now bullish bias on this name now that we're over this weekly. Beautiful breaking retest. We saw that. But each day, just moving higher. This is textbook. I want this. This is the dip. And then get that continuation. This was the A plus trade. Why? Because it was off a weekly level last week. And so you could possibly turn that into a swing trade. I always look for swing trades off of weekly levels. So we'll be patient here. We'll see. I really would prefer this. Not only is that a gap fill, it finished. Buyers can load back up, buy the dip, continue higher. That's beautiful. Like I said, right? Here, you could really play the break and retest off of this target and that. I'm just being very conservative. We're bullish bias on this name. So whatever you do, you're not shorting this name. That's for sure. And the video pulls back. I honestly would prefer that. I just broke that down. That's just a gap fill. So we'll see. It's a Monday. My Tesla moves very well on the underline. So I would play like 2 strikes out of the money on this and just look for that continuation. This looks solid. This looks really solid. Very quick sell-off here on the video. I mean, even if we fall into this lower day, that was a quick sell-off. This looked pretty promising at open. Very promising at open. And you can see this 190, 105. That's a key level right there. We break under that. But that's what I want to see. We gapped up. So I actually want us to pull back and fill that gap. Just got to be patient and like that's a good pullback on NVIDIA. I definitely want to see that. Beautiful. AMD. I want to see that. This is why I don't pick trades off of, previous day highs and lows, because I definitely will make a video on this, but mainly just because, I mean, especially when you're a young trader and you're starting off, it causes confusion for sure, because you're thinking we're trending, it's a trending name. I took a long off a quote unquote key level and I lost my trade. Right? This could be a very frustrating loss for some. You waited for the pullback off a key level. You saw buyers step up during the pre-market. You saw buyers step up in the intraday, but then we still fall below. So I'll definitely make a video on previous day high and lows, and my game really changed once I took them out of my system. I use it for context references, but I'd rather just wait for the big key level pullbacks. Like, this is a frustrating loss because you're right. You're right to go long. You're not shorting this name. It's a key level. You wait for these orders to get filled, yada yada yada. Like, it's a frustrating loss for sure. All right, Tesla. Don't play with my emotions. Let's see. Let's see if buyers can step up here on Hood. I'm not really interested in Hood anymore, but let's see if buyers can step up here. And then also keep in mind, if Hood wants to fail, this is also a gap fill. We gapped up. We still need this retest off of 140. So these are really pulling back on their own, because right now the spine, the Qs broke over the high day, pull back and like retesting. So this is really my main watch here. This is 100% my main watch. Price action looks clean. Overall market is very high. You can clearly see this kind of like the leading tech name. You see AMD pulling back. You see NVIDIA pulling back. You see in Hood pull back. Buyers are stepping up at this 146.70. But right now, the spine and Qs is just doing a break and retest over the high day, and buyers are actually stepping up buying this dip. So, but like I said on Qs, I'm sorry, on Tesla, I need a proper breakout with displacement. If it's a break and base, I've got to pass on that. 452.50 calls is what I'll be looking at. Buyers to not step up here on, well, we'll see. We'll see. Trigger key levels like mini zones. So buyers can't step up anywhere within here. So we'll see. It's too early to tell. But even a pullback here would be ideal. Both the spine and Qs is holding this high day very well, though. You would be up nicely on Tesla, because Tesla just moves so well in the underlying. That's why it's like pretty much the best bias statement here. It's the best stock to trade, because you really do get more bang for your buck on this name. But beautiful right break retest. I said even before it happened, we're looking to go long, not go short. Like, this is a valid trade. Valid trade. A $5 move on Tesla is a great move. If you know, you know. See what I mean? Treat your key levels like mini zones. Buy stuff up here aggressively. as we know, one of my favorite moves is when we fill a key level and then we claim it. So we'll see. But I want this to pull back too. This still has this gap to fill down here. We gapped up, so these are all healthy pullbacks all around, to be honest, outside of Tesla. See, that's a frustrating loss if you took a pullback long off AMD. It's a frustrating loss. I've been there. So, and we've been seeing how well AMD respects its key levels in the higher time frame. We saw that all last week. Unfortunately, wasn't able to catch that trade last Thursday, or was it Wednesday, when we got the break and retest on pre-market. Very unfortunate, but it's a frustrating loss because you look at it and you're like, I did everything right. I did everything right. So I get like you take a long off here, that's valid. Like buyers did step up here. Your first target should maybe at least be, this swing high. Just because if you break over that, that's a break of structure. And then move to the upside, we'll no longer be in a downtrend. So yeah, that sucks. Like, I've been there, it sucks. Nvidia looks good. Like honestly, Nvidia can give us that. That looks really solid. I'm just looking to buy the dip on this thing. I want this thing to fill its gap. Nvidia actually looks really good. Good day on Palantir, to be honest. Really good day. Finally broke out of that. See the divergence here between the, and it's funny because both of these two names are doing two completely different objectives. This is pulling back and filling this gap. There's no gap on Tesla. There's nothing, and then Tesla already filled its thin volume in the last week. There's no gap here. So this may look like, oh, we're pulling back, we're tanking. And this is why it's important to zoom out because you think, oh, we fall into the low of day, let's look to short. No, no, no. So both of these names are in play. I just don't really care about Tesla until we break, like get a good breakout over 450. But you can see we're trending higher. Definitely trending higher. Like if you took a scalp from 445 up to here, that's a solid trade. That's a really solid trade. That's a fun little move. Treat your key levels like mini zones. How did I come up with this? From prematurely stopping out years ago. I'm telling you, in my opinion, there's nothing more frustrating. I'd rather take a loss. I'd rather take a loss. There's nothing more frustrating than building a thesis, a correct thesis, taking your trade, and getting out of a winning trade because you think like, oh, my stop loss got hit. But understanding like how to read price action and treat these key levels makes a difference. It makes a big difference. Trading's weird, man. It really is one of those things like you got to lose to learn. My goal is to make sure you don't have to lose this much. You still will have to learn and figure things out, but helping you avoid the things that actually can be avoided. Like this, I wish I had someone in my ear. Like, no, Kel, your thesis is valid. Just you're taking a trade off the daily and you're executing on a 1 or 2 minute time frame. You got to understand where a proper stop loss placement should be in order to let that trade actually play out. How many of us has taken a trade and we stopped out prematurely and then the trade just goes in our favor? And then I used to think like, man, am I exiting my trades too early? This and that, and it all came down to stop loss placement. And I was like, oh, okay. So just little stuff like that. We are trending here. Each dip is getting bought up on Tesla. See, 146.70. That's beautiful. It's beautiful. You want to see this reclaim, maybe another break and retest above this, and then your stop loss would just be under here. Because technically, most people don't know this is the retest. When you get that and buyers step up down here, that is the retest. This is part of your key level. And these are my favorite type of retests because I'm entering at the bottom of here, so my stop loss is really tight, really tight. Because if I'm wrong, what is that? A 4%, 5%? If I take it up here, my stop loss is down here. Yeah, still a good stop loss placement. But when buyers step up at the bottom of this, I'm more comfortable taking that shot. Because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But my stop loss is tighter. Tesla looks good. It's taking its time. We're about 9 minutes away from market being open for an hour. I'm not just going to take a falling knife here on a video, but I got to see buyers step in. Kind of some ways away, so we'll see. And if we fail this, I'm also going to be cautious because we do have a gap fill under this. I would prefer it to like pull back to the previous day high, kind of fill that gap, and then reclaim this 188.15. That's pretty ideal for me. That's something I would really want to do. Okay, so really a big sell-off here. Well, not a big sell-off, but both the SPY and the Qs fell back under the high day, which was really our first mini candle. So, or our first opening print candle. So, as of right now, really the SPY and the Qs is kind of just a chop, to be completely honest. And it's just a chop. I would want to see a deeper pullback here and then strong buyer step in. This is valid. Let me see, what is that? 188.43. Yeah, it's valid. I just need a deeper pullback, especially with this market pulling back. Remember, the deeper the pullback, the better, because the deeper the pullback, the tighter your risk. Remember that. Like, this is no surprise at 188.15. That's no surprise if buyer step up here. I would prefer like just a deeper pullback, just have some tighter risk. Hood's actually doing its best to hold up here. It possibly could be turning this into resistance, but it looks really good. I mean, it's textbook on the video. Market is pulling back though, so we'll see. If I miss this, that's fine. I'll just look for that 190.105, but you can clearly see we're looking for this. This is just a big stop loss for me. 188.43, yeah, that's a big stop loss because I gotta wait for like a displacement candle closure under this 188.15. I gotta wait for that. Look at that. I mean, the pullback longs. The trend is your friend. This is the A plus. I didn't get that deep enough pullback, but that's fine. We'll see. Hopefully we can stall a little bit, pull back again, maybe. The one thing I don't like about NVIDIA, I low-key do not like trading this name on a Monday. The contracts do not move that well on this name, on the underline. At least on Monday. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But there's been times I've taken trades on this name and I'm like, bro, that's all I got after sitting in all that. So I think I broke that down in a separate video. Like, I believe names like NVIDIA and Apple, they're great names for like Thursdays, right? Wednesdays, just because those contracts are getting closer to expiration. But we saw buyer step up down here. That's very nice. I'm watching Tesla right now as well. We can see Hood trying to defend this 146.70. Let me see. I mean, so far, every 15-minute candle on Tesla, it's pretty much just a strong bullish candle. This is really nice here on Hood. That's really what you want to see at a key level. That is beautiful. That's textbook. All right, and then another way to play these pullback longs, if you never get a pullback long full to your level, you can just scale down. That way you give it more room if you do get stopped out. Like, let's say your average position size is 20,000, and or screw it out, I'll use $1,000, and you get a pullback, but you don't feel like it's deep enough, but you still got to respect the stop loss. Just go $500, because this is still a really good RR trade if it plays out. You're still gonna make X amount, you know. So it's funny that we're getting this breakout here. Well, not yet, but this is setting up. This is really the trade I want here on NVIDIA, to be completely honest. Like, this is the one, that pullback long. Maybe if we could pull back to the swing low again and I see buyer step up, maybe. Beautiful. That's exactly what you want to see. Now, this takes time. I promise you, it took me a while, but you just got to practice. The same way we practice bad habits, you practice good habits. It's easier said than done to see something fall into the downside and trusting to go long on your key level when you just see it's falling straight down. It broke through the lower day. That took me a while to get there, like mentally. That psychology point, it took me a while to get there. I'm not gonna lie to you, that it takes time. But that's just trusting your system, trusting your levels, having trust in your system. There's a beautiful pullback long here. I'm always thinking risk first. I'm a risk manager before I'm a trader. And I'm always thinking before I enter a trade, what if I lose this trade? How would that affect me? So I understand, taking a shot here, I'm not just gonna let this be my stop loss. I have to wait for like a pretty good displacement candle closure under this. Remember, treat your key levels. You see here on Hood, treat them like zones. So I don't want to get wicked out here. So if I'm going in this with full size, that's a pretty big stop loss. It really is. It's easy to say when it's working out, but I'm thinking first, like, always protecting capital. And this is a big stop loss if I take that. But this is nice to see play out. Um, if we can break over this 190.105, I'm definitely in that. This was the dip, right? This is buying the dip in the trend. It's buying in the dip in the trend. The psychology part, I'll make a video on it in the future, but it does take time to trust your system. This is a falling knife. You've seen me take these trades over and over on a falling, where we're just pretty much straight downside. I think my last Apple trade was just like that. Like, we open up and we're just straight bearish, thick bearish candles to the downside, but you got to understand structure where buyers are more likely to step in and push this thing higher. So a little bit of pros and cons here on Tesla. It's trending. It's trending, but based on the price action and it's taking its time, which is fine. Understand that if I take this trade, I got to sit in this for a little bit, just because the type of price action that we're having, we're stair stepping higher. So just gotta be patient and let that play out. This is beautiful. This is where a lot of traders get shaken out. That is just beautiful on the dot. That is just beautiful. Pullback. This is the retest. This is the retest. Treat your key levels like zones. I always say this because if you don't, that's hard. You think, oh, I lost the trade, we broke, we retested, and now we're turning into a resistance. It's hard to do that. That helps you. So definitely missed this pullback. Well, I didn't miss it, but oh, another good example. I always say there's a difference between missing a trade and skipping a trade. What is skipping a trade? Skipping a trade means you don't think it's worth the risk. So I'm not gonna let this excite me because we just saw this last Friday. We know what we're looking for. But I'm always thinking if a trade goes against me. See, there's strong buyers up here at this 450. This is exactly what we saw on Friday. So this is a good shot. Good analysis here on the video. Very good analysis. See, if you're just so focused in on the intraday, you're thinking, oh no, we just broke under the lower day. Let me look for the retest here. And then you don't realize that you're going short into a key level. And then you're counter trending this name. But look how these dips are getting bought up. As soon as we got over that weekly level and now we're bullish buys, look how all these dips these past couple of days on the videos been getting bought up. Yeah, this was a trade. That was the trade, really. Like I don't feel it took me a while, but like I don't go through those emotions anymore. I'm so emotionally detached, whether I win or lose. It's unreal. Like so I don't feel FOMO here. I could care less. I really could. The way I see it is, I stuck to my system, my criteria, my entry criteria. I preserve capital and mental capital. I need a little bit of a deeper pullback just so I can have a tighter risk. But then, if we get this 190, 105 break, I can just take that. That's a good confluence. It's a pre-market high. It's the high of day, and it's a key level. Those are three confluences. Of course, this is the dip. This is what we want, but we still got all-time highs to gravitate towards. So I'm very comfortable taking this. Do I wish I got in down here? Absolutely. This is where I really want to get in at. Let's see what AMD is doing. AMD's pulling back. I actually hope AMD just has a bearish day, to be honest. I really do. Let's look at Tesla here on the 15. It's crazy. That's why you mark out these key levels. Again, just top of this range again. Look at that on the dot. On the dot. And so you're not looking to short this name. If you took this as a scalp, a break and retest of a 445 target in here, you just cashed out. That's a great trade. That's a $5 move. That's a really good trade. We saw buyer step in here. Hood, I'm not messing with those spreads. To me, that's definitely not worth the risk. So to each your own. Like I said, for me personally, I'm not going more than 15 cents on a spread. Definitely not. The video looks solid. I'm watching this 190, 105. 7:35, so market's been open exactly an hour. You can see these dips are getting bought up. Tesla is trending to the upside. A lot of sellers sitting up here though. This 450, this is the key level. This is what's been holding us for the longest. We've been flirting with it for sure. This is the previous day high on Tesla, just 451.68. Great trade here. You able to catch this? Open to the video over this 190, 105. Remember, every day the market presents an opportunity. Every single day. Just don't FOMO into plays. Like if you pass this trade, you've helped yourself the next 100 trades. When trading, you always have to have long-term mindset. I don't care about the end of the day. I don't care about the end of the week. I'm thinking, all right, what's my end of the month looking like? The end of the quarter and the end of the year. Always think about your next 100 trades. Always think about that. This is a longevity game. It's not a day-by-day game at all. So, because I've taken trades like this for sure. And remember, you gotta let your stop loss take you out. You gotta be able to withdraw, draw down, as long as you're above this level. So, buyer step in aggressively here. You have to wait for this candle to close. Let's say I wait for bullish momentum to enter here, and I enter on the break of this candle. It's easy to say that when the trade works out. This is a big stop loss. That's a very big stop loss. You get what I mean? Because if I go long here, I have to let my stop loss be under 188.15. This is the only way I'll know my thesis is invalid. As long as we're above this, my thesis is valid. So, that's what I mean. I gotta wait for that candle to close because I don't want to be. It's a falling knife. We went from making a high day all the way down here. That's a falling knife. And if I see one candle where buyers are stepping in without letting that close, and I get stopped out, that's gonna hurt. That's a big loss to start the week. And then you enter on the break of this candle to see the break of structure. But this is pretty much a late entry. Like I said, you can scale down, but I like to keep my position size in the same, consistent, one trade a day. So things like that, like how I analyze this and break this down, is how I avoid FOMO. Like I don't feel like I missed out on this trade. I feel like I stuck to my rules and I was a great risk manager in this. So I hope that makes sense. Because this is, let's say you enter here, like somewhere maybe here. Like that's just a big stop loss, especially with the size I'm trading with. It's just not worth the risk to me. Now Nvidia's moving a little slow. This could be a potential swing trade. I'll see. But I love the confluence up here. I love this high of day, um, key resistance level on the daily that's being well respected, and the pre-market high. Those are three confluences for me. So a breakout retest over this is very valid. Yeah, this 450. This is a tough level here for Tesla. That's a tough level. It really is. That's crazy. Just 6 days in a row. Just look at this 450. Still stuck in this channel, but look at that. That is just a strong key level, just on the dot. Like I said, we're bullish bias now in the video. We got over that weekly level, we're bullish bias. They're really good. Did it fully fill this gap? Let me see. Give me one sec. I want to see if it fully filled this gap. Nah, not fully. Almost. Y'all know what I was looking for. I was looking for this fill that gap, reclaim. Those are my favorite setups. If anything, I try not to jump the gun too much on it. Those are my favorite setups. But that's exactly what we're looking for. You can see this thing is still, now we're gonna play to the upside. 3 days in a row. Yeah, we gapped up here. We gapped up here. So a lot of gap ups. As soon as we got over this weekly, we're now bullish bias and we're back in play towards all-time highs. It's crazy. We sat in this channel for like almost 2 weeks. And as soon as we broke out, we're not that far away from all-time highs. That's just being patient, letting your trades come to you. Like I said, I did not take this on Friday because I took my trade instead on Apple. I'll break that down. That was a super solid one. Good shot. Very happy with that. Very patient. Let that trade come to us. So very happy with that Apple trade. And then that's why I didn't take this. And it was a Friday. But you definitely could have looked to take this on swing trade. Super solid here. See a little bit of the divergence of this buy in the queues, just a little bit. Nothing on IWM. But when you look at Tesla, Nvidia, I know I was there before too. It's so annoying, right? When you have a small account and you're trading, and you feel like everyone you follow, all they do is trade Tesla. I get it. It was very annoying for me too. But the reason why is Tesla just moves the best on the underlying. Tesla will make you really 10% in just 1 minute candle. So it's very easy to get 20, 30, 40% returns on Tesla. And the reason for that being, look at Nvidia. We pull back to 188.42, barely up $2. We went up to 190.64. You get what I mean? But Tesla, this thing averages, 15 plus dollars in a day. So if you catch this on the underline, that's why I said this $5 scout will pay you more than this pullback long. Because Tesla opened up, we went from 438 to 450. That's a big dollar amount difference compared to this, right? So that's mainly why um, people trade Tesla. You just get more bang for your buck. If you get one solid trade on Tesla, that could really set up your whole week, your whole month. So Nvidia is cool. Nvidia moves very slow, in my opinion. Like to me, it moves kind of like Apple on the underline. It can pay you well. But these type of names like Nvidia or Apple, I love them on like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They're great. They're great. But start of the week, very slow movers. Very, very slow movers. So you can see here, sellers are stepping in at this 450 on Tesla, but we're not breaking structure. These dips are getting bought up, right? These dips are getting bought up. We're pretty much going into 8 o'clock. It's almost 7:45 for me. The way some things are setting up, I'm probably going to sit here maybe at 8:30, to be honest. So just to see, I do like, I mean, look at Hood. This is like, you're able to catch these trades when you ignore your P&L and you only trade your chart in market structure. This is a beautiful, like, this is trusting your level. Like I said, you saw me, like, I passed this because I did not like those spreads. I was not messing with that. Anything more than 20% with the size that I'm going in, I'm not taking that. But this beautiful pullback long off this retest, off this daily level, right? We got the break. You got to trust the retest to come and just be patient. Read the price action. Once you see heavy buyer step in, you take your shot, and your stop loss is just right under here. But it's hard to sit in these trades when your eyes are glued to your P&L. But this is like textbook. This is exactly what you want to see. Do I wish I caught this trade? Absolutely. But I hope this breakdown analysis makes sense. Like you can't chase this candle and go long before it closes. I've done that. Doesn't work out too well, right? Especially when we're just doing this. Yeah, we're trusting our level. We're waiting for the pullback long, but I gotta let this candle close, confirmation, and then you can enter here. Now, some people will probably enter. I'm sorry, have their stop loss like right below this candle, but then it's just you're stopping out before market tells you to stop out. As long as you're above this 188.15, your thesis is valid. So, hope that makes sense. But look how aggressively like this is. That's textbook. That is talk about a V shape. That is textbook. Out of this entire downside move, we only had one green up close candle. This was all downside, and look how heavy buyer stepped up here. So if we get a break with this 191.05, it's moving slow. So I would have to manage this on the 5 minute. I would definitely have to manage this on the 5 minute. Like this is not price action I would want to be a part of on the Qs, especially on a zero DTE. Like, there's no key levels up here. There's none. There's no key levels up here. Let's see, 7:30. We pretty much just sat sideways for the first hour. Really didn't do much. We just got this break and retest an hour into the session. So yeah, you can see SPY is pretty much doing the same thing. This thing's just sitting sideways. Not surprised we gapped up. I'm really trying to be patient here with Tesla. Tesla, I'm really trying to be patient with. 15 looks good. We keep kissing this, rejecting. We're only an hour into the session. This thing can really it's holding up. Just pull back normal at a key level. This is our first 15-minute down close candle since we've opened, so it's really not a surprise there. But look at the trend. Look at these dips getting bought up. We haven't broken structure and making lower lows yet. Pretty much a lower low once we fall into this 445, but even on the intraday, you can see these dips are getting bought up and respected. If you went long here, I'm sorry. I hope that makes sense. I don't. I just don't. That's just me. You guys see me take trades all the time off of key levels. Like that's just me personally. Really for that reason. Now, if you're long bias on this name today, like you got into a trade, sorry if you lost. For the sake of structure, I hope we close red today on AMD. I really want this pullback to a key level because there's no key levels up here. Like I said, we're uptrend. This is the A plus pullback long. This is the key level here. So, but I like, we filled this gap. We swept this liquidity. We're sitting under. That looks good to the downside. I just want to see this. Like these are the plays that patience pays, and they pay you when it comes. Is it may take 1 day or 2 days for this to pull all the way back down. We kind of gapped up here. Let me see. Yeah, we do have a gap here. So we gapped up here on going into Friday. It's a big gap there. Very big gap. So just gotta be patient. Let market structure do its thing. The momentum of it, it's kind of died down. Like if you take a trade off 191.05, this is really a swing trade type of thesis here. I mean, beautiful market structure. We ended up in that pullback. Look how aggressively bar stepped up here. You can see this was respected very well. That's a hard long to take. Like, I got to see a deeper pullback and then buyer step up and wait for that candle to close. I'm not taking that long. Like I got to read the price action confirmation. So, like I said, always easier to say in hindsight, but this is a big. That's a taking this trade on a long before this candle closes. That's a big shot right there. That's a big shot. I gotta wait for that to close, especially when you're seeing all of this. And you're seeing all of that, and then I'm also thinking we got a gap fill right under this. So this is really an aggressive entry. Easier in hindsight, but this is an aggressive entry. Damn, dude, this 440, this 450 is like this 3 days in a row now. This is 3 days in a row. Like I've said, we were bullish bias on this name, Tesla. Clearly, you got paid today if you took a trade off 445 targeting 450. Don't practice bad habits though. Remember, I'm not here to teach you bad habits. Promise, stick with me. Take trades off a higher time frame key levels. Understand the higher time frame context. The trend is your friend, and you will make a lot of money. Your win percentage will go up through the roof, and honestly, trading will become easier. We just wait for our trades to come to us, right? This is 3 days, besides this day, which was the 22nd, every single day the past 6 days. So 5 out of 6, we have pushed up into this 450 and rejected on the dot. On the dot. This is our key level. This is our A plus level. We are waiting for that. Like I said, I don't trade off a higher time frame key levels. But this, I mean, this is 6 minutes into market open. We saw how volatile these candles were. Like I said, this can be a pullback, but that's an aggressive entry, a very aggressive entry. You get rid of that. I mean, look at this weekly, right? Break, retest, continuation higher, all-time highs. This is why you want to trade all-time highs, because we're going to stall. And then you can expect, a pullback. Why? Because when you take a trade at the all-time high, you're not playing the dip. You saw how we just saw this dip on the video? This dip here? But when you play at all-time highs, you're no longer playing the dip. Now you're sitting up here, so you got to treat it as a scalp. These are the A+ longs down here targeting the all-time high. You're buying the dip. So this was a very aggressive entry. These were big, wick, volatile candles. We knew to stay away from this, but I'm hoping this thing can gravitate higher throughout the day. So somewhere in the week, we look for this 188 pullback long. This is the valid trade. That's the valid trade. We stayed away from this thing from the longest, so. But see, understanding how NVIDIA moves, it's like, this is why you kind of want to buy like the pullbacks on the same, because it's going to move slow. So you want to like just let already be in the trade once it starts to slow up on the momentum side. I mean, look at Hood. It's a slow mover. It's a Monday. I don't really think you'll be getting paid that much on the underlying, but that's just textbook market structure. Break, retest. I was looking for this, but I'm not messing with these spreads. Let's look at this. Like 480 to 500 at the money cons. I'm not touching that. Yeah, that's not solid. But yeah. Now, like at the money is at 15 now. But with a name, like with these type of names, they move very slow in the underlying. So for me personally, I would have to play one strike out of the money just so I can get, that push deeper into the money. I hope that makes sense. You can always play at the money cons for sure. You can always play that. But at market open, I was not messing with these. The volume was under 1,000. It was like, what, 500, 700, if that. So, but now you can see volume's there, open interest is there. The delta is really good. That's one thing I do like about the saying the delta is good. Now at the money's like a 10-cent difference. Now that looks solid. That's exactly what you want to see. So your target would just be up here. Yeah. I passed on this. I don't really care to trade Hood. My main ones are Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, and AMD. Palantir and Hood was really just a side watch for today. I was looking at Palantir on my close watch. But once we broke to that all-time high, like you can see, this is the late entry. Like, I don't really care for that. If we fell under this and got the pullback before making a new all-time high, then this was on my list. But other than that, after we made the all-time high, I was like, yeah, I'm done. Same thing with Apple. Like Apple made a new all-time high. This is late to the party, and then we gapped up. So, and then we have earnings as well. So, but you can clearly see bullish bias on this thing, but there was nothing here today. Maybe if we got this pullback down here, valid shot. You can clearly see now pullback off this 264.5. This is the valid shot targeting the top, but that's late to the party and it's earnings, so I wasn't even bothered to watch this name. Hmm. Don't be surprised somewhere down the week, somewhere in this week, where we just get a straight just drop day. We got two major gap ups on the overall market, so just don't be surprised. Remember, straight up, you go straight down, and there's a lot of thin volume that has to be filled. There's a lot of thin volume, so just do not be surprised. Yeah, momentum slowed down here on the video. Clearly see. We were to catch this to the top of this range. That's what's holding up. We're bullish on this higher time frame. We're just waiting to break outside of this channel. We're just waiting to break outside of this channel. It's 8 o'clock here for me now. And on the dot. So overall, kind of a post recap. I really put my main focus. So at market open, my focus was on Palantir and Nvidia, because Nvidia was sitting up here, as you can see. A lot of resistance. We got that pullback long. Palantir had made a new all-time high, right? Practice what I preach. Once you enter up there, you're joining late to the party. So I passed on that. That was not a good RR trade. Clearly we see because I ended up chopping. Passed on this because the spreads were freaking terrible. And with the amount that I trade with, I'm not taking anything that's wider than a 15-cent spread, especially on a name like Hood. So it held up, but I was not messing with that with those spreads. I think I'm only taking like 3 trades total this year on this name, if that. Um, Obviously, Tesla's going to be our main watch. We were very patient. We know we're bullish bias. We waited, never got that breakout. You can see seller stepped up here. We zoomed out. So just a patient Monday, kind of expected. Nothing on AMD, nothing on the keys, nothing on the SPY. Like AMD is nowhere near a key level. So we're gonna let this develop for really the next day or two if we don't get a pullback to this 240, and then to see if we can have a key level set up here on the 4-hour time frame. But Tesla's gonna be our main watch. Like I said, I might sit here till 8:30. I'm watching AMD. This thing is in play. This thing's really in play. I'm sorry, NVIDIA. Like this, I like all that. That tells me I got a really good key level here, and I understand I have to be patient. This is really the shot here. It's really the shot right there. So a lot of good confluence here. Like I've already said, pre-market high, high of day, and a key level. Those are three good confluences for me. And then let's look at NVIDIA contrast compared to Hood, which is funny. That's why it's easier to trade these names. Look at the open interest here. At the money, 100,000. Look at the volume, 80,000, 60,000. That's the strike out. So that's why we only focus on those main tech names. You shouldn't have to worry about spreads and volume and liquidity. And then look at Hood. Open interest at volume at the money, barely 2,000. These are things that I pay attention to. The spreads are good for sure, and the contracts are decent. But the volume and the spreads when we first opened, I was like, yeah, I just don't like that. Look at Tesla. Look at the volume here. That's beautiful. That's perfect. That's what you want to see. AMD at the money, volume 23K, 24K, two straights out. Like these are the things that matters. So I hope that makes sense. Maybe it looks solid here. It's a little bit of a longer session. Whether I enter a trade or not, I'll probably cut this at 8:30. It's already 2 hours, going into 2 hours. The video looks solid. I understand that this is a very slow mover. So once I enter this, if I do, I gotta manage this on the 5 minute. I have to. I wouldn't be surprised if we got Tesla later into the session. I really wouldn't. You can see Tesla's using the 625.50 as support. Was resistance acting as support on the intraday. 146.22, 148.46. So that's kind of the thing about trading right now. That's why most trade the first 2 hours. Is you can tell night and day the difference of the momentum within that first hour, 2 hours, and then after. So momentum's died down all across the board. It's died down tremendously. You can tell the difference night and day. What time is it? It's pretty much 8:10. So this happened at 7:20, almost an hour ago. But just like how the momentum was straight down, straight up. And after we kind of got back to the top of the trend, we're just sitting a little bit. So yeah, that's why I'm still kind of. I don't know. I feel like Tesla might do this like later into the session. And technically, I trade the first 2 hours of market open, and I feel like there's some setups. So it's only 8:07 right now. Now the thing about this momentum slowing down is, this could be a break in base and then slow grind higher. We would need like really strong displacement. It's kind of like my only thing right now. You can see bars are still defending this 146.70 here on Hood. But see these names, right? When it's that slow grind up, these don't really pay you that well. You want momentum in your trades. Look at the difference of the open versus now. Night and day difference. That's what you want to be in. These break and retest versus this. Night and day difference. You see buyers are still defending this. This 191.05 is a really solid level on the video. It's a really solid level. This is a great trade. Got that. You can clearly see the divergence a little bit between the SPY and the Qs. See, Tesla, I just got this weird feeling. I mean, the market doesn't care about emotions, but just looking at the price action in the 15-minute and how this thing's holding up at the top of the range, like this is a name I feel like we may get this later into the session. So I'm really trying to be patient on this name and see what happens. Look at these candles compared to these on the video. I'd rather take this. Like at the end of the day, you do want momentum when you get into a trade. But I'm willing to put on some risk on this trade on Tesla, just mainly due to, I mean, it's a pretty big breakout. This will be a big breakout. This will be a big change of structure here. This is our key level. We've been waiting for this. Like something like that, I'll take that risk. I'll give that a shot. And you kind of see on the 15-minute, we got the break and retest of this 445. We can just get over this 450. It's solid. There's a lot of sellers sitting up here. And this is why Tesla's always traded. Look at these candles. The momentum and like the candles, the body of the candles, like, they're still there. It doesn't look like these crazy volatile candles right at open. But look how small these are now. The momentum's died out. HUD's died out compared to right market open. Big difference, night and day. But you can see Tesla's just sitting in between 450 and 445. Maybe a cash day for me starting off. That's fine. Solid month. We'll see. Like I said, if I enter a trade on a video, the only thing with that is it's really a potential swing trade, to be honest, and manage that on the 5-minute. The momentum's died down here. So this slow grind wouldn't even give us, a 10% on a one strike out of the money on a Monday. You know what I mean? Data's not really a factor on a Monday. So the only me entering this in a video trade, if it sets up, is like really just based off the higher time frame. Like that's just my thesis on this trade, just to let it sit and then pretty much just gravitate towards all-time highs. It's 812 here. See what I mean about Tesla? Like this thing is sitting in here for sure. Looks a little similar to Thursday at the end of the session. That looked promising that we pretty much closed up here. Friday, I was looking at this. We shoot up and then sellers just step up aggressively, like very aggressive. And we trend down. But we already broke this down. We're just not surprised because all this thin volume had to be filled. All right, we avoided that. I just want to see this turn into support. So this looks good. Hopefully we can get like a pullback retest on here on the intraday and then just target the upside. Like hopefully that was the end of our consolidation period and we just got our next leg higher. You can see this 188 was respected very well during the pre-market. I'm really watching Tesla here. Q's is starting to try and trend a little bit. Just a little bit. It looks way better than the SPY on the intraday. You can see we are defending this 625. We're starting to trend. It's stair stepping. It's slow. Clearly. We just got a new 15-minute candle forming here on the video, which looks solid. If I gotta choose between SPY and Nvidia though, I gotta go with, I'm sorry, Tesla and Nvidia, I gotta go with Tesla. I have to. Just due to momentum. That's really why, just due to the momentum. But see, sellers are stepping up aggressively there. This looks good on the video. It looks solid on the video. On my screen to my right, I got NVIDIA concept, that's why. Oof. Okay, let's see. It's a lot of built up liquidity, so if we get a blow off top here, I would not be surprised. Trying to be really patient here, not jump the gun. We're gonna be patient here on Tesla. This is really our displacement candle closure. So we want to see that pullback. Momentum's a little slow right now on the video. Not a deep enough pullback here for me. See what I mean on Tesla? Like, that's not a surprise just because we have so much built up liquidity. So it's kind of just like a blow off top. I'll see if we can get a pullback. I'm watching in the video too. So if I don't get this pullback on Tesla, but I'm gonna be very patient. This is just straight up 2, 4, 6, 8 minutes straight up. Like I said, the only thing about the video is just look at the momentum difference. If I enter this, I know I'm entering a slow grinder, a slow grinder. Just look at the difference there. This is not a surprise. This is a blow off top. This is a big breakout. Hughes looks solid. It's a big wick here on this 15-minute on the video. So it's like, yeah, it's a very big wick. If we like fail this and replaying, maybe. I understand I'm in a slow grind here on the video. I understand that. Actually, let me get rid of that. You can see buyers are trying to defend this. It's gonna be patient here. We're in an uptrend. Just kind of gotta let this play out. Like I said, the entry was down here. Solid break, good displacement. Buyer stepped in. I took my shot, so be it. Kind of see some resistance up here, clearly. So, damn, Tesla's gone. Like I said, when Tesla goes, it goes. So I would not be surprised if Tesla's just this thing is sitting at 454. It's kind of crazy. I understand my conditions here on the video. It's a slow mover. It's a Monday. It's like the move kind of already happened a little bit. But I got to take my shot. It's a good confluence. Um, Tesla's gone. That's really the one I wanted. I've been waiting for Tesla. It is what it is, though. Nothing I can do. It's a very late session for me. And kind of no matter how this trade goes, I'm probably going to do, I had included that in my pre-market video going into today. I think I'm going to just start like doing weekly recaps at the end of the week. So we'll see. It's later in the session, so I kind of got to manage this on the 5 minute. I'm trying to be patient here. If I get stopped out, so be it. It's a really good shot. I saw like buyer step in here, so I'm very comfortable taking the shot. And I'm being very patient here. These contracts are only down 4%. Like I understood what I was getting into, taking this trade. Like I was comfortable taking this risk. These contracts are down, yeah, 4%. So I don't trade my P&L. See, what I'm trying to do is just be patient because we know what I teach, and I don't want to sell here for a loss and then be part of that fuel to the upside. I was very comfortable taking this risk. But these contracts aren't really moving. But if we fell under here, I'll get out. I want us to get back over this. That looks good. I want us to get back over this. I want to see if we can. Buyers are trying. They're definitely trying. I'll give them that. I like Blue stepping up there. I want to see us reclaim this and then fuel. Look at Tesla. Actually, now I'm only down like 2% on these contracts. So me holding this is why I say treat them like mini zones. Like I don't want to lose this trade. Like basically sell too early and then be part of that move that fuels the upside. I always preach that. I was a little comfortable taking this just because it's Monday. Um, but these contracts are not moving, not even a little bit. That's why like I'm comfortable embracing this risk. But because it's Monday, right? Theta's not. We're not really worried about theta. It's not really a factor. It's 8:30 on the dot for me right now. Like this makes sense. Like that candle, seeing buyer step up here, I got to take that shot. That's a break and retest off of this 191.05. Whatever happens is noise. This is a 15-minute candle. We sat in this for 15 minutes downside. So right now, my position, I'm only down 1%. Like I said, this is like a potential swing trade. And if I lose this, it's a paper cut. It's a paper cut. Just trying to be patient here. We'll see if we can get back over this. That would be nice if we did. Sorry for the long session. It's taking its precious time. So we'll see. We may have like capped out at our high day here. Maybe. Tesla's still going, just crazy. But now you see why I wanted Tesla over NVIDIA. Just because Tesla, I mean, the momentum, right? Momentum is everything in options. Just trying to hold. It's trying. You can see buyers are trying. I'm trying to see this as a dip a little bit. See, got that pullback 15 minutes. Went trying to see that as a dip, but this may just be our high day. This is a key resistance level. We see sellers sitting up here. Like this is what I consider a good loss here. I'm probably gonna try and stop out like at 10%. We'll see. See, it's hard to manage that on a smaller time frame. Tesla, dude, that is crazy. This might just be a break and retest at the downside. Still a healthy pullback, but I think NVIDIA's just exhausted. Like the move already pretty much happened. Yeah, it might just be a little too heavy. Might get stopped out here. Just really trying to manage this. Bro, that is crazy. Tesla's gone. I'm really just trying to manage this on the 5 minute. It's a hard time frame setup. So, like we fell under this. It's trying. I will say that. It's definitely trying. I think it's too exhausted. Very comfortable with this loss. I'm not even down 5%. Very comfortable with this loss. So I'm really just trying to be optimistic and see this as a dip. But I'm not gonna marry a bias. Damn, bro, Tesla is gone. That sucks. I knew we were gonna have a blow off top there, but I mean that's what I've been teaching you guys. Like when we have so much built up liquidity, a blow off top is expected. We saw that last week on the AMD break, and we just never got that retest. I'm gonna cut this. We'll see. It's uncomfortable, but big winners require sitting through pain. Trading's not supposed to be comfortable. Right? Those if you're comfortable, you're not pushing your limits. So that's just like how my mind works. I'm very comfortable in this trade. I'm not even down 4%. So I'm really trying to give this a shot here. Um, I'm seeing this as a dip. That's what I'm really trying to see this as. And this is really just me, practicing what I'm preaching. Like if if you just had this key level and you weren't looking at this as a zone, you would stop out, and it's more annoying when you stop out of a trade that's like it's a winning trade and your thesis is correct. So I'm trying to see this as this. We're being patient. We've already been in this trade for more than 15 minutes. So being very patient here. I'm hoping we can reclaim this with a little momentum. It's such a slow mover. I really don't even plan on scaling out at the high today. I'd rather just lose as a whole. Like I want to be in this trade and get that high RR. Like I'd rather just lose this trade than scale at a high bid for what, a 4%? Because if I'm sitting through this drawdown and I'm only down 2% right now, there's no way I'm gonna be up that much at the high day. So selling out there is just a bad RR trade. Yeah, it's uncomfortable for sure, but I embrace it. Like I don't look at my P&L, I don't trade my P&L. I'm trading market structure. I'm trying to see that, like I know the video is a slow one. I'm trying to look at this as just like the dip. This is a dip. If it was a little earlier in the session, the way I would really trade this is if we would claim this 191.05, I would actually add to my position. It's holding. It's holding. And like this is a beautiful thing about Monday is like you can sit in these because you're not worried about theta. Theta is not a factor today. It's a Monday morning. I'm down 1%. I'm down 1% right now. So I want us to reclaim this 191.05. I really want us to. We'll see. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I'm sorry it's such a long session. Hopefully you're able to learn from this. Going into the session, we never know what's gonna happen. We never know. So something that I'm looking at right now, I'm always looking at all possibilities. This could be a break and retest of this 191.05 to the downside. It could be. It could be a lower low forming. We already made a high today. So that's something to be mindful of. Stop loss is still the same. Stop loss is still the same. I'm down, well, I'm up 1%. So, but see, I don't care about being up. Like, even if I'm up 4% or 5%, like, I'll take the loss. I'd rather take the loss. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about losing a small, like, the max I was down here wasn't even 5%. I'm looking for, really for this. This is the better RR trade. Like, yeah, I'm in the green now, but I could care less. I don't, like, don't trade your P&L. Trade structure. Like I said, of course, right? I'm being a little biased, but I was seeing this as a dip. We just went straight up. You saw we went straight up 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Like this is all 5-minute candles. And then we got that pullback and then this, and I'm seeing it as a pullback. So we are trending. This was the A plus long. I skipped that. It is what it is. To me, it wasn't worth the risk. So, but this is like embracing the pain, not trading your P&L, not letting emotions overtake you, and sitting in these trades. That's how you manage a trade. Whether we lose or not, this is very good to like trust our level, sit in this, embrace it, understand, market structure, being patient, letting our trades come to us. So it's a long trade. It really is. Almost half an hour in this. Yeah, almost half an hour. So we'll see. And if I lose, so be it. Like I'm looking at the bigger picture here. I'm willing to risk what, 3%, 4% to take a possible swing trade that's going to make what, 50, 60%, if that. Like, when you see traders get shaken out here when they just stare at their P&L. Like I said, a possibility that I see here, that I always see. I'm looking at every angle. This could be yeah. If we fall into this 190.75, that's definitely a lower low. 100%. It's definitely a lower low. Let's see. Technically, we've gotten 2 5-minute candles closure above this 191.05. Technically, so we'll see. The 15-minute looks solid though. I'm looking at the 5 and the 15. The 15 looks solid. I don't like that wick, but I'm only down 1%. So we'll see. We're trading with the trend, right? That alone gives us, we're trading with the trend. The market gapped up. The market's pushing higher. Tesla's pushing higher. This is a good shot. And remember, when we felt this is still a retest. This is still I just broke this down on Hood. We think that the retest is like exactly this 190, 105. This zone is still the retest if we see strong buyers step up here. It's my longest trade in a while, I'll tell you that. Well, outside of the swing trade. And then keep in mind, we can just do this. We can absolutely just do that. That is very possible. If we do, I'll probably cut this soon. If I see that we're just starting to chop around, I'll cut this. I'm sorry, in the video, I'll cut the trade. So understanding the days of the week is like very important too, because these contracts would not hold up like this if it was a Thursday, right? My biggest drawdown on this trade, I think, was like 6%. That's a long one. I've already been recording for 2 hours and 30. Of course, I'll speed this video up. But this is a long session. Tesla still needs a retest, so maybe in the week, well, definitely in the week, we will be watching, this 450 pullback. 100%. We will be watching that. This is the this is what they don't show you on YouTube about trading. You sit here and you enter a trade, and if it hasn't hit your PT or your stop loss, you just wait. This is what they don't show you. They show you the Lambos, but this is the quote unquote fun part, that they don't show you. So we're just being patient here. God honest truth, man, I would love for this to turn into a swing trade. I really would. Like my entry was cool. Like right now on this little pop, I'm up $300. Like I don't care about that, but I know if this thing can start trending, it can move higher. When you zoom out here, it looks like a pullback long, right? It looks like, or we haven't broken structure. That's one thing. Because if we get something like this, it's definitely a break of structure. If we get something like that, that's definitely a break of structure. The thing on Nvidia right now is the 15-minute looks solid. These last two 15-minute candles, wicks are long down here. It looks very solid. Like I said, the move's pretty exhausted. I understand Nvidia as a stock. I understand this as a ticker. It's a slow mover. It's a slow mover on the underlying. I know this name's personality. And this is why I say it's a great name to trade on a Thursday or a Friday, just because those contracts are closer to XP, so you get paid better, But it's holding up his volume. I'm sorry, his value. These contracts are holding for sure. I sat through all that drawdown, 15 minutes worth, and what was that? It was down like 5%, 6%. So right now, up roughly $400. Could care less. I do not care. I'm looking for this bigger move. And then for me, I feel like it'd be pointless to sell up here. We just sat through the hard part, and then we're gonna sell once the thing starts moving in our favor. You get what I mean? Like we just sat. This is the hard part. This is where your palms are sweating. So this is what I mean by, don't trade your P&L. This can easily be a scalp, quick $500 a day, right? $500 in what, 30, 40 minutes? That's not bad, but I don't care about that. Like now that the market's starting to move and trend, I'm trying to sit in my trades and look for, this continuation. And we wait. TP hasn't gotten hit, stop loss hasn't gotten hit. See, it's a slow grind. We're moving, but I'm looking at this on the 15, and the 15 looks really solid, to be honest. Looks super solid. I don't know if we can get something like that. Be solid. Out of this entire market open session, Tesla only has two 15 minutes down close candles, which is crazy. Only two. We shall see. We stop out, we stop out. So be it. It's a slow mover. These contracts are holding their value though. Like on this drop right here, I'm only down 0.33%. So, but we are chopping around, you know? So that's another thing. You know, when we chop around, the premium spikes are very low. That's why people who trade consolidation breakouts, they make those big returns is because when you when you come across a name that is consolidating for so long, like today, Tesla consolidates and you get that consolidation breakout, you're gonna get paid so much on that move because the premiums are there's no premium spike on those, they're so low. So when you're a part of that breakout, you are a part of that initial premium spike, and that's why you get such a big return. I hope that makes sense. Like these contracts are holding up fairly well. Like I'm up 2%, you know, and my entry was nowhere near here. So it's just consolidating. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. Just embrace it. Wait. And I'm hoping we can get this push. I really just wanted to see it gravitate towards this high today. That'd be ideal. If I lose this trade, this is my definition of a good loss. Plan my trade, trading my plan. I'm sitting in my trade. I'm not trading my P&L. Easily could have took this for a scalp. I did not care to do that. This is like what I consider a good loss, right? It's just there's no momentum on our side. That's fine. That's expected. Like I said, the move's a little exhausted. I called that prior to even getting into this trade. I really wanted Tesla. We just never got that pullback. Tesla just had the better momentum. These contracts are holding value pretty well. Like I'm still sitting at plus 2%. Yeah, I'll give it that. It's definitely holding their value. You can see I'm up 200 bucks, right? These contracts 212. These contracts are holding their value. My entry is like up here. We're pulling back here, so I do like that. I just want you to see what I mean when I say, like you can see the open P&L we're up 212. I'm just trying to like let this develop, but these contracts are holding out. I will say that much. I'm not. They not got in here. It's already been like 40 minutes in this trade. I think we're still moving to the upside. Crazy thing is, Q's is trending to the upside and SPY. Clean price action on both those names. So it's not like we don't have the market with us. It's a tough hold. Actually, not really. These contracts are holding up. It's just a boring hold. If we lose this, so be it. It's really just an exhausted move. You see the pullback long was down here. Really good shot here. Contracts holding up very well. Most importantly, how we manage this trade. That's really the lesson here today. Just managing this trade. Not freaking out, not none of that. Just really managing this trade. I hope this thing hurries up and stops me out because golly. Right? And this was a good shot, you know. If I pushed up to there, buyer stepped up here aggressively, I took that shot. I would take that over and over again. Like, look at my P&L. I'm not trading my P&L. These contracts are holding up very well. When these spikes were popping up to 400, 500, they're holding up very well. I'm hoping buyers can just kind of load up here and push this thing higher. The only way to catch big winning trades is being in them. I don't care to take, this quick 400 bucks, 500. Don't trade your P&L. Like, I don't care about that. So that's like what I really want to teach you here. Understanding R multiples, RR trades, risk to reward, looking for the bigger picture, trading out the higher time frame. Does it suck percent of consolidation? Absolutely. It's annoying. It's boring, but trading is boring. And honestly, you're doing your job correctly, trading is boring. You should not come into the trading day feeling like you're getting on a roller coaster. Like, look at the value on these things. They're holding. I know if we can get like a pop, bro, I know this thing can take off. It look promising right here. It look really promising right here. Fitting looks solid. See, we don't care about that. I don't care about that. Some traders look at that and be like, oh, let me lock this in. I've already been sitting in this trade so long, and then you sell, and the thing rips. So I'm confident in this. I'm comfortable in this. My goal is every trade that I take, even if I lose it, I want to look back and say I would 100% take that trade again. This is a trade where I would say I would 100% take this trade again. It's solid. It's moving. This may be something to manage on the 15. The 15 looks way better, to be honest with you. Like I said, I'm 100% being biased. In my mind, I see this setting up in my mind. My mind is forming that picture. It just did this on Friday. Like it just consolidated and then it just ripped to the upside. So these contracts are holding very well. I'm impressed with that. Holding very well. Please comment down below if a trade is ever this long, if you want me to just end this video short. Hopefully you're able to learn a thing or two. I feel like at this point, you got to see the outcome with me. So I'm looking for a potential swing trade here. We can gravitate towards this high day. I'll definitely end this video. Like the contracts are holding. You see that. They're holding fairly well. 15-minute looks solid. This 15-minute candle. On the intraday, this 190.75 is really the key level here on the 15. This is what I mean on the 15. Like, look how solid that's holding up. If we can just reclaim this 190, 105, I'm hoping that can fuel us higher. See, these contracts are holding up fairly well. There we go. Actually, I don't want to get too excited, but If this con peaked at they're peaking right now. You can clearly see. Like, this is the hard part. Like sitting in this is, well, I wouldn't say hard. Like this is my safety net. My stop loss is the safety net. That's why I don't care if I lose a trade. But we sat through all this. Um, let's not wag our tail when we finally start to break out of this and we start getting this move. That's just kind of what I mean by it. So, we'll see. You saw we're up like 200. Now we're up 1,000. So this is a strong level though. It's kind of annoying. We didn't make this break over this 191. Market's trending. SPY's trending. Q's trending. Tesla's trending. Yeah, on the intraday, well, yeah, even on the intraday, on this 5 minute, 2 minute, this 191 is a strong resistance. But on the 15 minute, it definitely looks more clean. If we can get over this on the 15 minute, we really haven't had like one solid 15 minute candle closure above this 191.05. So if we can get above that on the 15, it will be solid. That's what I mean. Not really trading the P&L. Like we're up 1,000, but who cares? Like you're looking for the bigger trade, the RR trade. And when you look at the context, you can see it looks like a break, good displacement. Kind of a bull flag setting up, retest and a continuation higher. So I'm telling you, if we break over this on 191.05 on the 15, this thing can really start to go. There's a strong resistance on the 15. Like even on the 15, this is a bull flag kind of setting up here. And the obvious reason you're setting this is, of course, right? The new trader, you're anxious, you want to lock in gains, you want to. I'm telling you, dude, it's a crappy feeling when you sell based on trading your P&L and you take a quick profit, and then it ends up doing this. I've been there. Like that. We got time on our side. It's a Monday. These contracts are holding up well. You can clearly see. Like there's no reason to exit this trade. We're not in drawdown. We're consolidating. We just got to let it play out. Today, you folks are seeing the reality of trading. Bonds are holding. I'm telling you, if we can get this bull flag break on the 15, this thing can really go. We just got to get over this. There's no shocker. Right? This is a strong. This is the daily resistance. This was the high day. This was the pre-market high. What I'm hoping for is since we got all this built up, like we can get a blow off top here. I would say peak right now is we're up 117. I do gotta go soon, so I'm really trying not to. It looks solid on the 15, man. I'm telling you. Promise that one's not a buy statement. This looks solid on the 15. See the cons are holding up. We're at 175. If this thing can like blow off the top, bro, it could really take off. Might have to get out of this soon because I gotta go. Or I'll just manage it. But It's 15 minutes setting up. I'm telling you, if we can get this break over this 15 minute, this thing could really take off. I know it can. I know it can. Like, look at the comps. They're holding up. We're moving up in value. It's just, if we can get this bull off top, bro, I'm telling you. I'm not too, like, the market's moving, Tesla's moving. I'm not too worried about it. This damn 190, 105, dude. It's a strong level. This is a strong level. I'll tell you that much. I can't do this forever, so. Let's see. We finally get stopped out. I don't know. We'll see. This is a tough 15 minute. This 15 minutes tough, bro. It's teasing it. You can see this entire time we've been peaking. Been peaking. Cons are holding. Up 13. Cons are holding. These are moments where, the old me, you're probably like, oh, bro, just sell. Like, you're up a good percentage. Like, just sell. It's a punch in the gut when you do that, and then this thing goes exactly how you want it to play out. Like the cons are up. We're not even in drawdown. If you sell here, this is an emotional sell. This is an emotional sell. I understand if you're in drawdown, there's no drawdown. You're trying to lock in gains. That's trading your P&L. At this point, I think even when my stop loss gets hit, I'll still be up a little green. Things are starting to pull back Tesla a little bit, but the last four 15-minute candles have been in between 191 and 190.75. These cons are definitely holding though. Look at this. Definitely moving. I just know if I can get this blow off top, bro, these things are gonna go. This liquidity is building up on the 15. Come on, NVIDIA, just give us like a blow off top. I just want to enjoy my Monday. Just give us that. Come on, be nice. These cons are moving. You see that? They're moving. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's not my job to know. Tell you guys, this thing looks like a work of art on the 15. These cons are up pretty much like almost 10%. So I'm doing going breaking base. I want this crap to I want one of these. Like just build up and then get that breakout. Come on. You're right there. I'm looking at this on the 15. The 15 looks super solid. And we just got a big dip up on Tesla. You're right there, bro. Come on, video. We've been on a date all morning. Come on. Take me home. Golly. Yeah, this 191.05 is strong, bro. Still looks really good on the 15, but this 191 is strong. See, these Collins are holding. Come on. I know you want to. There we go. Just give us that breakout, bro. This 15-minute time frame setup looks solid. That's my main like hold right now. Is this 15-minute, but we cannot seem to get a candle closure above. We've just been stuck in between 191 and 190.75. It's about to be 9:30 for me. It's crazy. I can't do this forever. That's my thing. You can't do this forever. Just pick me off with that. I've been waiting for Tesla. And it does something like that, but then like not surprised. Hmm. Even on the 5 minute, uh, like I said, I guess you can count these two technically, yeah. But even on the 5 minute, you can see all the wicks, right? We see the damage body test the story. This is really a strong level up here. Cons are holding. They're almost at 2K, but I'm gonna take my loss, bro, because I know if we can get a blow up top here, these can move. So this will pull back, and this thing's breaking through the high day again. That's the thing about Tesla. Once it moves, it moves. But at least it's back in play. So we know what pullback longs we're looking for tomorrow, or throughout the week on Tesla. Come on, NVIDIA. 15-minute looks so solid, bro. Honestly, I'm just managing this on the 15-minute now. Strong resistance level. Super strong resistance level. I'm telling you, if this thing could just give us a blow up top, that's all I'm waiting for. I feel like there's like a suspense moment going on right now. This is no longer 5 minute. Like the 15-minute setup looks way better. It's really just waiting for this bullfight break. Like, come on. Look at Tesla. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it looks solid on the 15. When you watch this, just go look on the 15 minute. It looks solid. I'm really being paid. My contract's about 10% more than that now. I'm really just being patient here, trying to let this thing play out. It's a slow mover. This is the peak our cons have been. 21. Not trading my P&L. I don't care. Damn, this is a strong resistance level. This every wick is getting like, damn, it's getting rejected here. I would say the good thing is, even if I sell down here, respect to my stop loss, I'm still gonna be green on these. Look at the 15 minute. Like, look at these wicks, bro. We're just sitting. Probability on our side. We're moving higher. We're trading with the overall time frame. We're bullish bias. Because if from here it's getting us to 2K, I know we can get paid at least at this high day. So we'll see. It's annoying because you got everything trending. You got Qs and the SPY, and then Tesla, and then Nvidia wants to be Nvidia. So, yeah, on the 50 minute, this 191 is just like a strong resistance level. Just a strong resistance level. I'm totally fine with the stoppage. We've sat in this for like over an hour. Really impressed with the cons. So cons are sitting around like 7% still. I want to say like might finally get stopped, but like on the 15 minute, like dude, these wicks are forming in heavy. Like buyers are stepping in heavy. Like these contracts already jumped back to 8%. See what I mean? At this point, this is really like just a 15-minute time frame managed type trade. Can't do this forever though. For that. Look at Tesla, dude. That is wild. That is wild. You think that individual tech name will kind of just bring everything up too, but this is my longest trade in a while. I keep wanting to say, all right, we might get stopped out, but this 15 is just holding up. crazy. 3 hour and 23 minute session. I might speed this up on 2.0 for you guys. I have no idea. In fact, I gotta let this stop loss take me out. We're still holding structure because this thing really could just do, that. So even with these pullbacks, the cons are holding. Like I said, anywhere in here is an emotional sell. You're not red. You're not in drawdown. Like it's an emotional sell in there if you get out of that. I think we might get stopped out though, just because I can't predict that, but just there's a lot of wicks on this 15. Like this is a very strong resistance level, very strong. See what I mean? Like it's just very strong. But then this is a very strong intraday support. So somebody's got to win this fight. It's either the Bulls or the Bears. Someone's got to win. I see something like that popping off, but even down here, these contracts are up 7%. This is just practicing good habits because when we're in those trades, those days that come when we're training and we're moving to the upside, we're sitting in the trade, we're embracing it. It's really just practicing good habits. Like I said, I want to say we're about to get stopped out, but on this 15 minutes, these buyers are stepping up. See what I mean? Cons are holding up well. It's like we're getting another 15-minute candle form in between here. See on the 15, like these candles are the body of the candles are closing dead smack in the middle of those two. Either way, it's a green trade. So I'm not even stressed about that. I just gotta let this play out. Super long trade. Very long trade. It's 10. It's 10 o'clock for me. I don't even know if I should pop. Yeah, that's good. Great trade, great shot. I mean, this was really our shot down here. Is what it is. It's a green trade either way. So Key lesson here today is patience, ignoring your P&L, and trading your plan. You get paid 10 times more. Embrace the risk, embrace being uncomfortable. So every time we push down here, I'm like, all right, yeah, we'll get stopped out, we'll get stopped out. And then buyers just step up here on this 15. I don't even get excited anymore when we bounce. At first I did, but now it's just like, we're just playing ping pong. I'm between 191 and 190.75. I might have to start to sell because now when we get these pushes, the contracts aren't moving that much. So I'll see. Actually, I don't care about that. I'd rather just take my L. See her on this 15? Like it's just, we're trying. I'm gonna have to scale out here at 10% because these contracts really aren't moving that much anymore. I have 5 left. Let's see. Because I gotta go. Yeah, the contracts are not moving that much anymore. We stop out under here. We get a counter closure, like reject here, I'm out. I'm really just looking for that push, but just did not end up getting that. Solid day though, super solid day. I'm really not even in much, so if we reject here, I do gotta go. Today was a really good valuable lesson. Like I'm not tripping over these things because 8 times out of 10 we're gonna catch these trend days and we're getting 50%, 60% returns. Now that the market is finally moving, we don't have to like be in scout mode. But today was a really great lesson of just like saw my stop loss get hit. I did not I didn't panic, I didn't freak out. Like I understood market structure. I didn't trade my P&L. I was up 2 grand. I did not care. Because I know when these things run, that's when you get paid 8, 10,000. You know what I mean? Super solid pop here. Only reason I sold majority there is because these contracts were not starting to hold up as much anymore. Beautiful, beautiful. I still got some runners. These things are doing it. There we go. Nice. Nice. I'm gonna sell into that. Solid day. Very happy with today. Like I said, the only reason I sold on this initial push, because we sat in this for over an hour, these contracts were not, they were not pushing up anymore like they were. Solid day. I was looking for that higher move, but really gotta go. Super solid day. Hope you're able to learn. So, right, patient pays. Patient pays. When the video wants to trend, we'll catch that. No regrets on those sales. Super solid day. Sat in that. Solid day. Let's see. AMD, nothing. You can see Q, they're trending. SPY, trending. Tesla, trending. Palantir, tried to pull back, not fully. Trending. Google, trending, and then yeah. So no regrets there. Super solid trade. Very happy with it. Just being patient. We sat in this together for like over an hour. That's crazy. But definitely gonna call it here. Gotta get going.